Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel called the Tuesday Brew with Ann. Here we explore all things in relationship with Jesus and with each other. Have you ever wondered, I'm too busy to have some time for the Lord? Who hasn't? And then you feel really far from him. Well, today is week 2 of our series on setting boundaries with yourself. This is a series on how to set meaningful boundaries in different areas of our lives. And so today I want to focus on the spiritual boundaries. Particularly, I want to talk about spiritual resiliency. So I want to talk about get back on the horse and embrace progress over perfection. So when I was a teenager, my father bought me a horse. It was called Big Red, and he really was. And the first day that Dad brought him home, I saddled up Big Red and hopped on him, and I rode to the end of the corral. And when we got to the end, Big Red turned around toward the barn, and he took off. I couldn't handle him. I couldn't stop him. No matter how hard I pulled on the reins, Big Red was not going to stop. He raced right to the barn, and I thought there was a fence in front of us, and I thought, he's going over the fence. And I was prepared to jump with Big Red over the fence. I didn't know what was going to happen. Big Red stopped immediately in front of that fence, and I flew over the fence. Once I got up and kind of shook myself out, my dad looked at me and he said, "You need to get back up on that horse." I've never forgotten that. And when I get into hard times or when I fail or when I mess up, I think about that. You need to get back up on that horse. Hi, my name is Ann Visser. I'm a life coach, speaker, and trainer with For Better Forever. I'm passionate about helping Christian women to rediscover their voice, set healthy boundaries, and confidently express themselves while honoring their Christian faith and values. And so if you're new here, take a second and introduce yourself in the comments below. I love to hear from you. If you're back again, thanks for joining me again. I appreciate you. So today we're talking about resiliency, spiritual resiliency within our faith. You know, as Christian women, we strive for this vibrant spiritual life. I think it's important to understand that success in faith, it isn't about perfection in any way. Life isn't about perfection. And all of life, including our spiritual life, is about progress. And so here's the thing. The one who has a successful and vibrant faith, the one who has a successful and vibrant spiritual life, isn't the one who never messes up, who never stumbles. It is that person, that woman, that man who knows how to get back up quickly. So we're not talking about perfect here. We're not talking about perfect. We're talking about progress and resiliency. So what matters really is how you respond to those mistakes and mess ups and failures. That's what really matters. Proverbs 24:16 says, "For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again, but the wicked stumble when calamity strikes." Jesus never promised that it was going to be easy. He never promised an easy cakewalk. In fact, he promised us that there would be trouble. And I don't know about you, but in my faith walk and faith journey, I was taught that it was important to have a quiet time and it was important to pray and all these wonderful spiritual disciplines. But for me and so many other women that I speak with, having that consistent, regular time is the hardest thing in the world. And so many distractions keep us from that quiet time. And so I'm not talking about perfection in prayer and quiet time and even going to church. I'm talking about embracing progress, that when you miss your quiet time, when you feel like there's this emotional space and this space between you and God, when you feel disconnected from him, that you don't let that get you so discouraged and so down and so under shame and guilt that you stop altogether, or that you pause and make these longer pauses between when you get back to him. And instead of focusing on your failure, you focus on, okay, what's the next right step for me here? What is the next right step for me here? Maybe it's just sitting with the Father very quietly. Maybe it's resting in his presence. Maybe it's asking him a question and then journaling out the answer. Perhaps it's spending some time and maybe walking and praying. So progress is made one step at a time. Progress is not made in leaps and bounds. Growth never happens like this straight incline. Growth is always like this. And so we want to be prepared for those obstacles, be prepared for those distractions, and get back up on that horse as quickly as we can so that we don't have these long pauses where we feel so disconnected from the Father that we lose connection altogether with him and get so full of guilt. So release the guilt, embrace his grace for you. Make a daily renewal. Make it a habit to renew your commitment to your spiritual boundaries, to get back up on the horse. And whether it's through prayer or Bible reading or simply just sitting in his presence each day, make it a point to focus on your progress rather than perfection. You'll find that your spiritual life will become much more vibrant and fulfilling. Here's a quote I love by Tim Keller. He said this: "The gospel is this. We are more sinful and flawed in ourselves than we ever dared believe. And yet, at the very same time, we are more loved and accepted in Jesus Christ than we ever dared to hope." Get back up on that horse and continue your spiritual journey with confidence under his amazing grace. If you like this video, sign up for my weekly Tuesday Brew with Ann, and I'll put the link below. Subscribe to this channel and like it. Hit the bell so that you don't miss a thing. My name is Ann Visser, life coach, speaker, and trainer with For Better Forever. Thanks for joining me today. Take care. God bless. Bye for now.